The rain had been falling since morning, tapping softly against the windows of the small house at the end of the street. Inside, an old man named Karim sat quietly in his worn wooden chair, staring at a faded photograph in his trembling hands. The picture showed a smiling little girl sitting on his shoulders. Her eyes sparkled with happiness, and her tiny hands rested on his head. Every time Karim looked at that photograph, his heart felt both warm and broken. That little girl was his daughter, Aisha. Years ago, his house had been full of laughter. Aisha was the light of his life. After the death of his wife, Karim had raised her alone. He worked day and night as a tailor to give her everything she needed. He skipped meals so she could eat better food. He wore old clothes so she could have new ones. He spent countless nights sewing under a dim lamp while she slept peacefully beside him. Whenever he felt tired, he would look at her sleeping face and smile. One winter evening, when Aisha was only 7 years old, she wrapped her tiny arms around him and asked, "Abba, are you tired?" Karim smiled and kissed her forehead. "A little. When I grow up, I will earn lots of money. Then you won't have to work anymore." Her innocent words filled his eyes with tears. "That's not why I work, my princess." "Then why?" "Because your smile is worth more than all the money in the world." Years passed. Aisha grew into a brilliant young woman. She excelled in school and earned a scholarship to a prestigious university in another city. Karim was proud, but deep inside, he feared the loneliness that would come after she left. The day she departed, he stood at the bus station holding back tears. "Take care of yourself, Abba," she said. "You too, my daughter. I'll call every day." Karim nodded. As the bus pulled away, he waved until it disappeared from sight. That evening, the house felt unusually silent. The dining table had one empty chair. The bedroom felt larger. Even the walls seemed lonely. But Aisha kept her promise. Every night she called him. She told him about her classes, her friends, her dreams. Karim listened carefully, never missing a detail. Sometimes he would pretend to be cheerful even when he felt lonely. Hearing her voice was enough. After graduation, Aisha found a high-paying job in another city. Life became busier. The daily calls turned into weekly calls. The weekly calls turned into monthly calls. Karim never complained. Whenever neighbors asked why his daughter rarely visited, he defended her. "She is working hard. She is building her future. She is busy." But every night he sat beside the phone hoping it would ring. One day Aisha called with exciting news. "Abba, I got promoted." Karim's face lit up. "That's wonderful. And, I am getting married." For a moment, silence filled the room. His heart ached, but he smiled. "Congratulations, my daughter." The wedding was beautiful. Aisha looked radiant. Everyone praised her success. Everyone admired her happiness. Only Karim quietly stood in a corner, watching. He smiled through tears as she began a new chapter of her life. After marriage, the visits became even fewer. Months turned into years. Karim grew older. His hair turned completely white. His hands became weaker. Walking became difficult. Still, every morning he swept the front yard and watered the flowers Aisha had planted as a child. He spoke to them as though they could hear him. One day she will come. One summer afternoon, Karim collapsed while returning from the market. Neighbors rushed him to the hospital. The doctor informed him that his heart was weak. "You need someone to take care of you." Karim simply smiled. "I'll manage." The neighbors contacted Aisha. She arrived 2 days later. The moment she entered the hospital room, she was shocked. Her father looked much older than she remembered. His face was pale. His body seemed fragile. "Abba," she whispered. Karim opened his eyes and smiled. "My princess." Aisha burst into tears. She held his hand tightly. "I am sorry." "For what?" "For not being here." Karim gently squeezed her hand. "You came now. That's enough." But deep inside, Aisha knew it wasn't enough. She remembered all the birthdays she had missed. All the festivals she skipped. All the calls she never returned. All the moments she chose work over family. Guilt consumed her heart. After Karim returned home, she stayed with him for a week. For the first time in years, the house felt alive again. They ate together. They laughed together. They shared old memories. One evening, Aisha found a box hidden in a cupboard. Inside were hundreds of things she had forgotten. Her childhood drawings, school certificates, old toys, birthday cards, even broken hair clips. She looked at her father in disbelief. "You kept all these?" "Of course." "Why?" "Because every piece reminds me of you." Aisha's eyes filled with tears. That night she couldn't sleep. She realized that while she had been chasing success, her father had been preserving memories. While she was building a career, he was holding on to every little reminder of her existence. Before leaving, she promised to visit more often. Kareem smiled. "I'll be waiting." For a few months, she kept her promise. Then work became demanding again. Meetings increased. Responsibilities grew. Life moved faster. The visits became rare once more. One evening, Kareem sat alone watching the sunset. The sky glowed orange and gold. He looked at Aisha's childhood photograph and whispered, "I miss you." The house gave no reply. A few weeks later, a neighbor found him unconscious. He was rushed to the hospital. The doctors did everything they could. Aisha received the call late at night. Panic filled her heart. She immediately drove through the darkness. The journey felt endless. Tears blurred her vision. Memories flooded her mind. Her father teaching her to ride a bicycle, helping her with homework, waiting outside school every afternoon, holding her hand whenever she was scared, praying for her success, sacrificing everything for her happiness. When she reached the hospital, doctors lowered their eyes. She already knew. Her legs trembled. "No." She whispered. "No, please." The doctor gently handed her a small envelope. "He left this for you." With shaking hands, she opened it. Inside was a letter. "My dearest Aisha, if you are reading this, it means I have gone where your mother has been waiting for me. Please don't cry too much. I lived a beautiful life because I had you. From the day I first held you, my world became brighter. I know you feel guilty for not spending enough time with me. But I never blamed you. Not once. Parents do not count the missed visits. They count the moments of love. And you gave me many. I was proud of every achievement, every step, every success. Whenever people spoke about you, my chest filled with pride. You became everything I hoped you would become. There is only one thing I want you to remember. Life is shorter than it seems. Money can return, jobs can return, opportunities can return, but people do not. Never postpone love, never delay a visit, never assume there will always be another tomorrow. Take care of your family. Love deeply, forgive quickly, and whenever you miss me, look at the sky. Perhaps we will be looking at the same stars. Your loving Abba." By the time she finished reading, tears covered the paper. She cried harder than she ever had before. Not because her father was gone, but because she finally understood the depth of his love, a love that never demanded, never complained, never expected anything in return. A love that waited patiently through lonely days and silent nights. A love that remained constant until his final breath. Months passed, then years. Aisha often visited the old house. She kept everything exactly as it was. The wooden chair remained by the window. The flowers still bloomed in the yard. The photograph still rested on the table. One evening, her young son asked, "Mom, who is that man in the picture?" Aisha smiled through tears. "That is your grandfather. Was he a great man?" She looked toward the sunset. The same sunset her father loved to watch. "Yes," she whispered, "the greatest man I have ever known." Then she told her son stories about Kareem. Stories of sacrifice. Stories of kindness. Stories of unconditional love. And as she spoke, she realized something beautiful. Although her father was gone, his love was not. It lived in her memories. It lived in her heart. And now, it would live in the heart of another generation. Because true love never dies. It becomes a light that continues shining long after the person who carried it is gone.